obviously deceased. Those injuries did appear to our fire crews at that time immediately to be criminal in nature, and so we immediately called for the police department to come and intervene on the fire scene.
None of the victims are believed to have died from the fire. Their identities weren't released at this point. Paul Pelosi was attacked at their home earlier this Friday morning. The suspect, David DePop, used a hammer. 82-year-old Pelosi was taken into surgery. He's expected to make a full recovery. The attacker is in custody and the motive is still under investigation. DePop was searching for the House Speaker and then confronted her husband instead. He tried tying Paul Pelosi up until Nancy Pelosi got home, but she was in Washington at the time.
Listen, Speaker Pelosi's husband, they had a break-in last night in their house, and he was assaulted. There's no room for violence anywhere, but we're going to send her back to be with him in California. That's what we're going to go do. That's what we're going to go do.
President Biden spoke with Pelosi after the attack, and he's praying for the Pelosi family. Jennifer and James Crumbley appeared in court for a pre-trial hearing today. They each charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Both parents pleaded not guilty. This is after their son pleaded guilty to killing 4 people and hurting 7 others in a shooting. They're accused of giving their son easy access to a gun and ignoring signs he was a threat. Prosecutors want to introduce future trial testimony from expert witnesses to show the shooting was preventable with proper intervention. Elon Musk takes control of Twitter after a long legal battle and months of uncertainty. Now the question is, what will he do with the social media platform? Musk gave a hint in a tweet this afternoon. He says no decisions on content or reinstating of suspended accounts will be made until a content moderation council is in place. Major personnel shakeups are widely expected after Musk fired several top Twitter executives. Which brings us to your viewer poll this afternoon, but don't forget to come to crosswordstoday.com/vote to participate in our polls. Viewers can also scan the QR code to get this poll. Now the question is, do you agree with Elon Musk's plans to reinstate suspended accounts on Twitter? Yes or no, or I don't use Twitter. We want to hear from you, so stay tuned for 25 News Now at 6 for viewer poll results with Don Brubaker and myself. A Korean War veteran from Victoria County will be laid to rest in Bloomington Saturday. Private First Class Aliando Mata Solis was taken as prisoner of war while fighting the enemy in North Korea on December 1st, 1950, and died as a prisoner of war on April 30th, 1951. Solis was awarded numerous honors, including the Purple Heart, the Prisoner of War Medal, the United Nations Service Medal, and the Republic of Korea War Service Medal. A service for Solis was held Wednesday at Angel Lucy's funeral home in Victoria. Private First Class Solis remains will leave Angel Lucy's funeral home, 706 East Crestwood Drive, Saturday morning at 7:30. The route will go southbound onto Laurent Street, continuing over U.S. Highway 59, then down Highway 185 until reaching St. Patrick's Catholic Church. Visitation for Solis will start Saturday morning at 9 with a rosary to be recited at 9:15 at St. Patrick's Church, 13,316 State Highway 185 in Bloomington. Funeral Mass is to be celebrated at 10 a.m. Then he is set to be buried at St. Jose Cemetery on Black Bayou Road in Bloomington. All right, let's take a look at your forecast with First Warn Storm Team meteorologist Howie Gordon. Howie, how's your Friday so far?
How's my Friday so far? It's Halloween weekend, so it's always going to be a fun time, Karina, but thank you. Now, I'm going to have you try to envision this with me as technology just moments ago started to fail on me one more time. But here's the crossroads right here, that boundary pushing through, and really showers taking place along the coast and out over the water. Now, unless we get that kind of counterclockwise rotation, maybe on the back end, we could see some more showers. For the most part, though, we are starting to dry off, and eventually we're going to see cooler temperatures. We'll talk more about that coming up in a little bit, Karina.
Thanks, Howie. The Victoria County Jail currently has 17 inmates from the Nueces County Jail. Victoria County Sheriff's Office Chief Deputy Will Franklin told us the agreement with Nueces County can take up a maximum of 20 inmates. The Victoria County Jail has housed Nueces County inmates for over a year. Victoria County gets $60 a day per inmate from Nueces County. The Victoria County Jail is at 74% capacity, while the Nueces County Jail is at 102% capacity. Early voting in Victoria County is at the Dr. Patty Dotson Health Center, 2805 North Navarro, Classroom A. It will be open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Early voting ends Friday, November 4th, and the last day to apply for a ballot by mail is Friday, October 28th. 2 more Victoria County early voting places will be open Saturday and Sunday. The UHV North Multipurpose Room, 3007 North Ben Wilson Street, will be open for early voting Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sunday from 12 noon to 5 p.m. Now, the foyer at John Wesley United Methodist Church, 8300 Zach Lennox Parkway, will be open for early voting Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sunday from 12 noon to 5 p.m. Early voting in Calhoun County Thursday, there were 289 in-person votes with a total of 1,290 in-person votes in Calhoun County. 17 mail-in votes Thursday were there for a total of 170 mail-in votes. Now, early voting totals from DeWitt County Thursday. There were 303 in-person votes Thursday for a total of 1,262 in-person votes so far. There were 24 mail-in votes in DeWitt County Thursday, 160 mail-in votes total so far. Police in San Jose, California are asking for help tracking down the driver responsible for a hit-and-run crash involving a grandmother and her toddler grandson. This happened Tuesday. Now, the surveillance footage of the crash may be difficult to watch.
A daily walk almost turns deadly for this San Jose grandmother and her 3-year-old grandson. Surveillance footage captured the moment a driver hit the 68-year-old woman, launching her from the marked crosswalk into the intersection of Sierra Road and Mauna Kea Lane Tuesday. The toddler, strapped into a stroller, landed face down. The driver of the dark gray 4-door hatchback did not stop.
Every time it breaks my heart to see that video. It's traumatizing to see it.
The boy's mom asked to speak anonymously, fearing any retaliation. She says after the crash, her mother-in-law, the boy's grandma, walked back home, where the family then called police.
She was ignoring all this horrible pain she was having, and she kept asking whether the baby's okay, whether the baby's good.
The family took the grandmother and baby to the hospital a short time later, where we're told grandma collapsed. According to the boy's mother, grandma suffered broken ribs and shoulders and was admitted into the hospital. Neighbor Yoon Chi-ju arrived home moments after Tuesday's incident. She found the 2 victims in the street.
Yeah, in the middle of the road, and she is still falling down, and the stroller is look like upside down, and the baby is inside the stroller.
The boy is okay, suffering a bump and a scratch. Residents say they understand it could have been much worse. Tuesday's hit and run coming at a time when traffic deaths across the city are on record pace.
And with that shocking surveillance footage, everyone's thinking about the surrounding schools, the speeding cars, and those who will be out and about trick-or-treating, celebrating Halloween.
Sometimes we tell people to also just think about trying how to make themselves more visible.
Jesse Mintz-Roth is the city's Vision Zero program manager. At this intersection, he reports 2 previous traffic incidents, a 2016 head-on crash and a 2017 rear-end collision. The family impacted Tuesday wants improvements made and wants the driver identified.
After seeing the video, I still cannot believe it happened. In broad daylight, a senior and a baby crossing the street. It's not like the car never had a chance to stop.
In San Jose, I'm Amanda Del Castillo, ABC 7 News.
Stay with us. Straight ahead on 25 News Now at 5, several people were hurt during a shooting at a Pittsburgh church. Also ahead, police are investigating how a 7-year-old was able to bring a loaded gun into an elementary school. Up next.
Victory Buick GMC has been named the area's friendliest car dealership, and here's why.
Our service department has the lowest labor rates in the Crossroads.
That means better service for less money.
Plus, we give all veterans, first responders, and medical professionals an additional 10% off.
We service all GM vehicles and we honor all extended warranties.
With world-class service and lower prices, we think you too will say,
I love Victory!
Wednesday, November 9th, the CMA Awards is live.
This is country music's biggest night, right?
And it kicks off with a must-see all-star tribute to Loretta Lynn. with performances by Carrie Underwood, Luke Bryan, Miranda Lambert, Morgan Wallen, Carly Pierce, and more. Plus, can't miss one-of-a-kind collaborations.
It's going to be a great show.
Luke Bryan and Peyton Manning host the CMA Awards live November 9th on ABC and stream next day on Hulu.
On today's show, we'll follow a young man with autism, joining a 5-week educational program for adults with disabilities and living independently on the flagship campus to help fulfill his dream of becoming a Texas A&M Aggie. We'll also meet an Afghan graduate of the Bush School and learn how her passion to educate women in Afghanistan turned into a battle for her life on this episode of Around Texas.
Welcome to Celebrity Jeopardy in prime time.
What is Parachute? What is Rugrat?
Who is Captain Picard? Sorry.
How dare you?
Sorry.
How dare you?
Celebrity Jeopardy! New ABC Sunday and stream on Hulu.
The stakes couldn't be higher. ABC News Election Night. Who will control Congress? What will it mean for his agenda? And deciding our next president. It all comes down to this. Your voice, your vote. ABC News Election Night.
At least several people are possibly hurt in a shooting at a Pittsburgh church. Officers were called to the church in the city for reports of gunfire. The church was holding a funeral service at the time. Staff at a hospital reported 6 people from the scene were taken for treatment. They haven't released any details on their conditions. Police are now investigating the shooting, but there's no word if they have a possible suspect. Police say a 7-year-old brought a loaded gun to a school in a Boston neighborhood. No one was hurt, but now investigators are trying to figure out how the child got the gun in the first place.
It starts at home. It starts with us asking certain questions.
A lot of questions remain in Dorchester after police say a 7-year-old student had a loaded gun at the Up Academy Holland School Thursday. Police say they were called to the elementary school at around 3:30 this afternoon. Gio Lambert went to the Holland School as a kid.
Hearing that a gun was brought to the school is kind of alarming, but at the same time, I think it's bigger than the gun being brought to the school. What are we doing to prevent these guns being brought to the school? What are you preventing to the kids of getting these guns, access to these guns?
School leaders are trying to figure out just that after several incidents of violence at Boston Public Schools already this year. The superintendent said in part, "I'm speechless. I don't have the words. This is truly devastating. We're grateful to BPD and first responders who were on the scene immediately, but we cannot do this work alone. When a young person gets access to a gun out of accessibility, we really have to ask ourselves, how does this happen?" Boston Mayor Michelle Wu says no child should ever be near a weapon like this, especially at such a young age. She went on to say the person responsible for allowing access to this weapon is going to be held accountable.
The CDC reports the flu season has increased early across the U.S. Flu hospitalizations are worse than usual, at least 880,000 illnesses, nearly 7,000 hospitalizations, and 360 deaths from the flu in the U.S. so far this season. The first pediatric death in the U.S. was reported this week, and flu activity is highest in the South. Data from Walgreens tracking prescriptions for antiviral treatments suggests there are hot spots in the Gulf Coast area, including Houston and New Orleans. Getting vaccinated may help save your life, and giving blood may save someone else's life. But the Red Cross says some people worry about giving blood after getting vaccinated for flu or COVID-19. The organization wants to set the record straight on the need for blood donation and why there's a concern for blood supplies.
The temperatures are dropping and respiratory illnesses are on the rise.
That really challenges the blood supply because whatever is affecting the population is affecting our donors.
Blood can't be stockpiled, so it's always needed. The Red Cross says it's especially vital now to help avoid a shortage. But the organization says many people think if they get vaccinated, they're not eligible to donate blood. That's not true.
There are no deferrals for either the flu or the COVID vaccines or boosters. We just ask that the donors be healthy and well with no symptoms the day that they come to donate.
Blood and platelets are needed throughout the year. The Red Cross says 1 in 7 people going to the hospital will need a transfusion. Donations are used to help people through a trauma, surgery, during labor and delivery, and it can be used for cancer patients and more. Supplies can also be impacted by fewer people being able to donate over the holidays or because of severe weather.
It's really a great time to give back to the community because, donating blood does save lives.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Could be a beautiful night for football. We'll talk all about it.
"38 years ago, his back was broken, but his spirit was not. Greg Abbott never gave up. It's that same determination that drives Greg Abbott to keep Texas strong, expanding opportunities so the Texas economy remains #1 in America for job creation, ensuring our police are fully funded to protect our safety, and securing the border to prevent deadly drugs and gangs from entering our country. Greg Abbott, securing the future of Texas."
El Campo Cycle Center is headquarters for Honda, Suzuki, Polaris, and Can-Am. We carry everything from dirt bikes and street cruisers to all-terrain vehicles, parts, clothing, and accessories. We service what we sell. Check out our lineup of bad boy riding mowers and Ranch King trailers. Be prepared with a dependable Honda generator. Best selection, best prices. Visit our huge showroom at El Campo Cycle Center, elcampocycle.com.
Stay up to date with what's happening in the Crossroads by downloading the Crossroads Today mobile app. You'll get instant alerts to your phone or tablet the minute breaking news or weather happens. Only the free Crossroads Today mobile app features weather updates for local sports. The Crossroads Today app gives you the ability to stream our daily newscasts when you're on the go and share pictures or tips straight to our newsroom and so much more. Brought to you locally by Prosperity Bank with 12 locations serving the Crossroads area.
At a time when misinformation is all too common on social media, we take great pride in bringing you the news that matters, that impacts your family, news you can trust. Local broadcast journalists bring you the facts, covering the stories breaking in our community and across the globe. Text TV to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on local journalism. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Chicken and dumplings are back at DQ, and this original family recipe is true Texas comfort food, served up fresh for a limited time only at DQ.
That's what I like about Texas.
That smile, Matthew Perry. Now he's ready to tell the story behind that smile.
Secrets kill people like me.
You said there were 6 friends. One of them was sick.
Yeah.
Tonight at 8/7 Central on ABC.
Saw some heavy showers, winds picking up a little bit, but we might get lucky. Yes, it's Halloween weekend. By Monday, we're looking good, but we also have something coming up first. That is Friday night football. Unless we get some backward action from that storm, and when I say backward action, I'm going to illustrate it right here the best I can. Counterclockwise, it comes back on the back end of that storm, starts throwing moisture our way. We're looking to start to dry off for the most part with maybe a few scattered showers or sprinkles here and there. What does that all mean? Kickoff, 65 degrees for game of the week. That's the Hitchcock Bulldogs versus the Hallettsville Bramas, the game of the week tonight at 7:30. Again, in Hallettsville. Partly clear skies as that boundary and all that moisture start to move off as the front starts to clear out the moisture in the area. Perfect weather for football. Winds not too bad. Could be breezier at times, so maybe if it comes down to the kicking game, that potentially could be a factor. So tonight into the 60s. So we stayed in the 70s last night. A couple nights ago, though, dropping down into the 40s and the 50s. So this isn't too bad. But that's tonight. Overnight, here we go. That's right. We are dropping back down into the 50s. So that cool, dry air with the front starting to drop down. Excuse me. Haven't coughed down here in a long time. 54 degrees. That's the coolest. Only lost my train of thought. We could be breezy. 54 overnight. Still a 20% chance of showers. I said as the backside of that boundary starts to throw moisture our way, could see some scattered showers. But for the most part, in terms of travel to and from the football and watching the game, I think we're going to remain on the drier side. And then for tomorrow, definitely on the drier side. Mostly sunny skies, but look at that cool down, 72 degrees. So that's about 10 degrees below average. But again, much of last week or the week before, we were way above average. So that might feel a little bit on the cooler side. At the same time, on the comfy side, very nice window open weather. Once again, lots of sunshine and 72 degrees. So in Cuero, here is what we have. Boundary pushes through. Now we're headed to drier times. Could see some showers, though, next week. We're going to see some disturbances push in from the west. That could bring rain again next week. And look what's going on. 80% chance here in Cuero. And then let's go over to Port Lavaca on the water. Okay, we're having some graphic difficulties here. Looking to stay drier in Port Lavaca on the water. So some of those storms might stay a little bit further to the north. How does that impact Victoria? Well, let's take a look at that right now. Okay, we're having some problems there as well. So let's focus on what's going on here. Monday is Halloween. Looking very good under partly clear to partly sunny to maybe even mostly sunny skies at times. We'll back up into the weekend. That's the front because it's pushing through Friday and into Saturday. Saturday and Sunday looking very nice with temperatures in the 70s, again, with lots and lots of sunshine. Some of these nights in the 50s, very, very much on the comfy side. For more weather, news, and sports, you can go to our app. That's at crossroadstoday.com, and that is free with any Android and iPhone. Now we send it back to Karina.
Thanks, Howie. Coming up on 25 News Now at 5, we'll take a look at your stocks. Plus, several world's nations haven't met the $100 billion goal for climate funding.
They say nothing worth having comes easy, to which we say they must not have had our sirloin steak with garlic herb butter, because it takes less than 30 minutes to make. No, really. With Home Chef, you get more ways to have super delicious, super fresh meals that are also super easy. So even when you don't really have time to cook, you still have time to Home Chef. Get $90 off your first month at homechef.com. Also available at select stores. Home Chef. Delicious means simple.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. Over the last 2 months, I've traveled to over 100 cities listening to my fellow Texans. They want their kids to get a great education, but without being taught woke policies that divide us. They want a secure border, safe neighborhoods, and a good-paying job. They know that Texas is America's last hope. Texans don't want Joe Biden's America. I'm fighting for you, and I'm fighting for Texas. I'm Dan Patrick, and I ask for your vote.
When you're looking for a hopping good deal, think of Bravo Autos. My friend Joey, my friend Joey comes from the land of Down Under. And here at Bravo, we're the home of the Down Under prices. Woo! Plus, make no down payment, no payments for 90 days, and oil changes for life. I'm a veteran, and veterans are always welcome at Bravo Autos. Hop online or hop on in. Bravo Autos is a hopping place. Who are we? Bravo!
Tonight, the all-new 2020 True Crime.
Anytime someone grabs a knife and stabs somebody to death with it, it is very personal.
The body found is that of former State Senator Linda Collins Smith. Who could have done this and why?
Linda was murdered by someone she knew. Is this the killer?
All the times you spend saying, look, all that stuff on TV, it doesn't happen. Except in this case.
2020 tonight on ABC.
Responsible Texans want responsible judges who follow the law. We pay our taxes. Judicial candidate Aaron Pena doesn't. He owes the IRS over $44,000. We buy car insurance. Aaron Pena's gotten 3 tickets for driving with no insurance, even while running for judge. And as a lawyer, Aaron Pena was reprimanded for professional misconduct and suspended from practicing law 6 times. If you want a responsible judge who follows the law, that's not Aaron Pena.
Taking a look at your stocks, the Dow up 828 points and the S&P up 94 points and the NASDAQ up 310 points. Oil down $1.18, closing at $87.90 a barrel. The world's nations have failed to meet a collective $100 billion climate finance goal set back in 2009. They're expected to meet it by next year. A report outlines some progress made to deliver $100 billion annually to the developing world. The money is aimed at helping countries adapt to climate change impacts and transitioning their economies to clean energy. A new government report shows Americans are spending beyond their means. The report shows consumer spending increased over 0.5% from August to September, while savings fell and incomes only grew 0.4%. Experts say spending still outpaces income when adjusting for inflation. All in all, the report showed prices climbed 0.3% from August to September. However, the index remained unchanged for the year. All right, stay with us. We'll take one last look at your forecast. Plus, a deputy catches a 10-foot-long boa constrictor on National First Responders Day.
Tonight, the all-new 2020 True Crime.
The body found is that of former state senator Linda Collins Smith. Who could have done this and why?
Linda was murdered by someone she knew.
2020, tonight on ABC.
It's high school football season. If you're headed to the game, we want to see your best photos. You can win big by submitting your photos to Crossroads today. Your photo can be the next one to be showcased on Crossroads Football Live. Each winner gets a $25 Dickies barbecue gift certificate and a 2022 CFL t-shirt. Go to crossroadstoday.com/CFL Hall of Fame Sweepstakes and submit your photos. So pull out your cameras or phones and show us your team spirit.
Victory Kia and Victory Buick GMC want to let you know that you can lean on us. We will award $500 to a deserving winner. Drop off an entry form at any of our participating dealerships in the Lean On Me drop box with your story and contact info. Go to crossroadstoday.com/leanonme for more information or to enter online. You can tune in every other Thursday at the 6, 9, and 10 p.m. news to view our winners. Lean On Me is sponsored by Victory Kia and Victory Buick GMC.
No one thought he would run. A computer salesman was supposed to report to prison to begin a 17-year sentence.
How do you evade capture for 25 years?
Now, join the global manhunt. Have you seen this man? Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
That smile, Matthew Perry. Now he's ready to tell the story behind that smile.
Secrets kill people like me.
You said that there were 6 friends. One of them was sick.
Yeah.
Tonight at 8/7 Central on ABC.
Hey, Luke, are you ready to host the CMA Awards?
Up,
Let's go, baby. We got to get in sync.
A CMA Awards boot camp.
Reba, Darius.
Me, 10 years ago.
Yeah, right. We're like 20. I'm going this way if someone comes up on stage and tries to tackle us.
It's an award show. That's not going to happen. No.
Luke Bryan and Peyton Manning host the CMA Awards, live November 9th on ABC.
Welcome to Celebrity Jeopardy in prime time.
What is Parachute? What is Rugrat?
Who is Captain Picard? Sorry.
How dare you?
Sorry.
How dare you?
Celebrity Jeopardy, new ABC Sunday and stream on Hulu.
It's National First Responders Day, a day honoring law enforcement officers, firefighters, paramedics, and all public safety officials. And thank goodness for first responders in situations like this. The 10-foot-long boa constrictor was found and captured Friday in a Florida neighborhood. A deputy wrangled the 60-pound snake with the help from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. It's unknown what will happen to the snake. Alrighty, well, it looks like we have time for one final check of the weather with First Warn Storm Team meteorologist Howie Gordon. Howie, you lived in Florida. Did you ever see any long boas or
I
alligators?
never saw any of those pythons or boa constrictors. I saw other snakes, but after I moved out, they started really amping up the talk about the problem with all those pythons getting away in the wild and then really taking over the area. But I would have went and looked for some for sure. I love those reptiles. Very, very fun. Pet snake is pretty cool. But here we go. One more look at our football forecast. So I think most of the activity is leaving the area. What does that mean? Pleasant conditions for football and drier conditions. And maybe not for the players, so what? Yeah, or not so what, but the fans traveling to and from. You won't be as wet out there while watching the game. Tonight into the 60s. Overnight, 54 degrees under partly cloudy skies. So a little bit on the cooler side, but that's very open window weather and very nice. And tomorrow, okay, on the cooler side, about 10 degrees below average, but beautiful, 72, lots of sun. I think most of us signed up for that down here in South Texas. And then looking ahead to Cuero, here is what we have. Yeah, we could see some showers after the weekend as some disturbances push in from the west. Then in Port Lavaca, here's what we're looking at. mostly sunny conditions. A lot of these days in the 70s, very much on the pleasant side. And then right back here in Victoria, I know everyone's waiting for Halloween. Halloween looking very, very nice. 78. Then in the nighttime, temperatures start to cool into the 50s, looking very good. Happy Halloween in advance. Karina, back to you.
Howie, thank you. And thank you for joining us. Remember, we're always on Crossroads Today Plus. We hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 6. World News Tonight with David Muir is up next.